I'm Paul Daddy from Paul Daddy's BlindHawg Barbecue, and today's video is all about Spatchcock Turkey. To spatchcock your turkey, you simply remove the backbone, you flatten out the bird in what I call a butterfly position, and this presents the bird in a much more uniform thickness, and it results in more even cooking. Now, a rotisserie may be the only real competition for spatchcocking the turkey. A rotisserie is usually pretty expensive, and it's a whole lot more complicated to use, so spatchcock works for me. I don't usually brine, but if that's your thing, you want to create your own flavor profile, then brine. But keep in mind that a lot of these previously frozen turkeys, they've been injected with a large volume of a solution, and that probably contains a large amount of salt. And since I usually deal with a previously frozen turkey, I don't brine. You can cut that backbone out with a knife, but a good pair of poultry shears, that won't break the bank if you buy that, and it'll make that process very easy and efficient. We want to start with a non-frozen or a fully defrosted turkey. Now, this is a butterball that I have. It weighs in at 14.9 pounds. Dried off with paper towels inside and out, and it's a best practice to keep that turkey overnight in the fridge uncovered so that the skin will dry out, and it'll give you the best chance to have crispy skin when you smoke it. And this turkey was sitting on a wire rack that was sitting over a drip pan. And I tied the wings up just so they wouldn't brush against anything while it was in the refrigerator. So now that it's spent the night in the fridge, I'm going to remove that string. I'm drying the turkey one more time, trim off any excess skin or fat. Now locate the backbone, highlight those areas where you intend to make the cut by using some firm finger pressure. Now next, I cut a groove with a knife on both sides of that backbone. A serrated knife works really well here because there are heavy bones involved. And some people may be up to finishing this job using only the knife, but most of us will be miles ahead if we do use the poultry shears. Most of this cut's pretty easy, but there is one area where the bone's a little bit thicker and it requires a lot more effort to cut through on both sides of the backbone. But once that backbone's removed, the next thing we need to do is crack the tip of the breastbone with a good stout knife. Then just flip the turkey over to what I call butterfly style. You want to push down on that midsection and that bird will flatten right out. Now, some of the more advanced cooks may remove some of the breastbone. I don't. For the vast majority of us, what we've done right here is all you need to do. Now, some people like to secure the wings, but I just go ahead and let them stick out because I want them to cook hotter than that breast meat. Next, I'm going to spray it with duck fat for the binder. Cooking spray or even mayonnaise are also real popular choices for binder. You want to spray that cavity side and then you season it up. Use your favorite rub. Now, I'm using John A. Adams Mesquite Smoked Poultry Rub. Now flip it over and repeat the binder and the rub on the presentation side. You want to place that turkey on a wire rack. That makes it a whole lot easier to handle when you're taking it in and out of the smoker and when you're doing the rotation. And the wire rack can easily be cleaned up in the dishwasher. You can smoke this on your offset or your pellet smoker, but the pellet smoker really seems to have some advantages over the offset when it comes to cooking up poultry. You probably got a lot better chance to have really crispy skin in a good pellet smoker. Keep in mind that you plan on smoking a boneless turkey breast and you're going to do it with the skin off. Well, then the offset would be my first choice. Now, when smoking, different smokers cook differently. Some of the factors to consider is the distance that your fire is away from the protein. How much airflow does your smoker have? So 300 degrees Fahrenheit on a 1,000-gallon smoker, it may be just right. But that same temperature on a small pellet smoker, it might just totally incinerate your food. So today I'm using my Yoder YS1500 pellet smoker, and my temperature of choice is 350 degrees Fahrenheit. You need to also consider that I have my probe recalibrated to a plus 25 degrees. And that means when I dial up, say 325 degrees Fahrenheit, the actual temperature will be 25 degrees hotter. So I would be attempting to cook at 350 if I've got it set on 325. Now the turkey goes in the smoker and I'm probing the breast with my ThermalWorks blue dot so I can monitor that internal temperature. Now, of course, a pellet smoker doesn't produce as much smoke as an offset smoker. The main reason for this is the pure efficiency of the pellet smoker. A straight line temperature on the graph, it may look really, really good, but the lack of disruptions in that combustion process, that produces less smoke. It just burns so clean. You can smoke at a much lower temperature, but that's a surefire way to get that rubbery tasting skin that you don't want. So you want to cook at the highest reasonable temperature for your setup, and consider using a smoke tube. This smoke tube is made from stainless steel. You fill it with pellets, you light it with the torch, you let it burn for a few minutes, and then you blow that flame out, and it'll continue to smolder, producing smoke inside your smoker. So you place that smoke tube in the smoker so that the turkey is between the tube and the smokestack. I used to worry about the fact that the smoke tube might produce dirty smoke. Well, of course it does, but the dosage is so small that it's only going to help. It will not hurt your flavor at all. I'm smoking at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and once again, this temperature choice, it might not be for everybody, so use caution. You want to rotate your turkey every 30 minutes. You can go clockwise or you can go counterclockwise. Just be consistent. I started at about 120 degrees Fahrenheit. I started basting with melted butter. You want to drizzle it on. Just don't do too much wiping action with your brush. Keep rotating and basting, and I basted again at 135 degrees Fahrenheit and 145 degrees Fahrenheit. If the color starts to get dark enough for you, you can always lock it in by covering those areas with some foil. So don't let it get all the way to black, and you can see I covered up the wings and the drumsticks. Now when the breast probes at 160 degrees Fahrenheit, you want to double check everything with an instant read thermometer like the Thermopin. Now the breast was confirmed to be 160 degrees Fahrenheit. The wings and the drumsticks, they were well above 175. So the breast should carry over the temperature to about 165 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the minimum safe USDA temperature for poultry. I like 185 degrees or so for the dark meat. That's a good target temperature. Take that probe out, take the turkey out of the smoker. Now I cut off the leg quarters, remove the wings. On a sheet of heavy duty foil, give it a good drizzle of honey, place the breast meat side down, and then place a stick of butter on top, and then another drizzle of honey, wrap it up. I wrap the leg quarters separately. I use a third stick of butter and the honey. The wings get wrapped together with a third stick of butter and the honey. From here, we let it rest. That butter's gonna melt and that turkey will start to absorb some of this goodness. Now, since I have an electric smoker available to control the rest period, I set it up at 145 degrees Fahrenheit, and I like to hold it for several hours. And the whole time gives the turkey a really good chance to absorb a lot more of that honey flavor. Now all that's left to do is cut up or pull off some of that meat from the bone. When you get done, take that excess turkey juice and the butter and honey, and it should be poured all over that boned out turkey. Now guys, this turkey was cooked to perfection. The skin's nice and crispy. And one more plus for cooking it like this is the actual cook time in my smoker was no more than 2.5 hours. Your mileage may vary, but yes, this almost 15-pound turkey was smoked in 2.5 hours. And note that that's not counting the prep time or the resting period, just the actual time in the smoker. So if you hadn't tried Spatchcock Turkey, I highly recommend it. This is a very easy way to smoke that turkey. I hope you found this video useful. Now all you've got to do is hit that like button on your way out. Please consider subscribing, and I hope to see you next time at Paw Daddy's BlindHawg Barbecue.